NXT WN podcast.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and guten Tag. I don't know why I went German. To our beautiful viewers, I hope you're enjoying the wonderful weather and being stuck indoors. Because, hope you're being safe as well, you know, and all that. Unless you're like me and you sit in a flat and all you can do is just look outside and be jealous. But that's a story for another day. Welcome to another edition of the Wednesday Night Wars podcast. You missed me last week because I had technical issues, but I am back better than ever, and I'm joined by my boss, Matt.
Hi. Hello. No, technically not. Dan's technically your boss. I'm kind of like the...
No, he's my dad.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Then if he's your dad, then I'm technically your boss. Fair enough. You've got me there. Hello everyone. Hi. I'm here to talk about NXT and AEW. Excited. I sound like I'm really bored. Just really tired. Sitting inside for weeks on end does for some reason make you really sleepy. So I'm just incredibly docile. But the two shows were very good. I will say that.
One of the best NXTs I've ever seen for two reasons, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Before we get into it, please do subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Acast, Podbean, YouTube, or wherever you do get your podcasts from. Head over to... I'm going to do this in a different order because I've already started it now. Head over to wrestlecrate.co.uk. Use the code TWM Wrestling to get yourself an autographed item in your first box. If you continue your subscription for 2 more months, you get 2 more signed items, and that is a very, very cool thing to do. I think the next one is Brody Lee, the Exalted one from AEW, which is nice. I feel like
a bunch of people keep saying this, and I was going to say for corporate admin purposes, I cannot confirm or deny whether each item is signed, but you do get a free item in the first 3 months that you do get it. Whether they're signed, I don't know. I'm not there with the pen, but they are signed.
There you go. Use the code TWM Wrestling to get that privilege, and make sure you do continue to pay for 2 additional months on top of the first one to get the full perks of everything. We are brought to you by We Love Sport, the brilliant app for finding your nearest and dearest sports bars, showing the great pay-per-views of the WWE when life returns back to normal. 400 sports bars and pubs at your fingertips, and allows you to book front row seats so you don't ever miss a thing. Download the app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow them on all social medias at We Love Sport UK, and check out their website welovesport.co. That is that done. Let's move into NXT. Flippy action happened last night. We got 3 more of the Cruiserweight interim tournament round robin thing that they're doing. Obviously we had 1 last week, and then they've gone 3 this week, because dividing 4 into 2 each is...
It gets boring if they do 2 each week.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's like when they change it up in the World Cup, when they do 2 games a day, and then on the last one, or they do 1 game from each group a day, and then the last one, they put both games on at the same time to add intrigue. I like when they change it up a little bit.
Fair point. So the first match we got was Jake Atlas defeating the recently and unfortunately departed Drake Maverick. A wonderful DDT by Jake Atlas for the win. It was like both on the top rope. He was on the top rope, Drake was on the floor, he cartwheeled DDT, just like Gargano's slingshot DDT, but instead he cartwheeled, and it was a thing of beauty. We got a backstage clip as well of Atlas consoling Maverick after obviously his loss, which was expected because he's obviously just gone and lost his job as well.
Right, brace yourself here, George, because match was fine. I'm okay with the match, but I am not very happy with this whole package at the moment for 2 reasons. Let me go with the least
obvious one. It's disgusting.
Well, first of all, the least obvious one is, I don't know if you paid attention to the pre-tape they did for Jake Atlas beforehand to any particular detail. I immediately picked up, because you might have missed it in passing, but I picked up that they seemingly had him say every single phrase, word, description that was him saying everything that wasn't "I'm Jake Atlas and I am a gay man."
Is he gay?
Yeah, that's one of his things. He's like an open... Well, I'm not sort of... I don't want to box this man. I know he's part of the LGBTQ community because that DDT you mentioned on The Independent was called the LGBDDT.
Nice.
But like, I know he's a big part of that. But watching that, I was like, why can't they just say that I am a member of the LGBT community and I'm a proud representative? No, they've got to say that I have dealt with struggle my entire life. This is my determination. And yes, I do understand that a lot of people don't. Well, then that just stereotypes him as this. It doesn't, because we said this before with we'd reference Sonya Deville on Total Divas. Where on this, because it was a WWE production in association with E, they were portraying her, and they've done it with other people before, they weren't portraying her as a gay professional wrestler. They were portraying her as a professional wrestler who is also gay. And I feel like this was them kind of going, we can't say that word on TV, so we're going to have to say everything else, when it's completely fine. And that irks me slightly, just a little bit.
I've just googled it. Yes, he is gay. He actually was part of their Be a Star program before he was even a wrestler with WWE.
Oh, that's fair enough. Did not know that. The other thing that has left a taste in a lot of bad taste in a lot of people's mouths is them, in air quotes, exploiting Drake Maverick being released.
Yes, it's
not cool at all, in my opinion.
Are you gutted if it's a swerve? Like, are you going to be pissed if he actually never got released and that video he did was
this is twofold. I'm gonna, again, devil's avocado on this one, because I've had this conversation with other people in TWM. We were chatting about on WhatsApp today, and so we were like, well, he's getting paid and he wouldn't be on it unless he was okay with it. That's not the point. The point is that what they've done is they've released someone, and either one, they're exploiting the fact this guy has lost his dream job, and once this tournament's finished, unless like something dramatically changes, they're not going to bring him back immediately, which means they've exploited his unemployment for a tournament, which is not okay. Two, they have put the man behind Drake Maverick through all the trauma of losing his job, and then they're going to go at the end of it, actually, no, we're going to rehire you. When in reality, they could have gone, we are going, they could have had the foresight to go, we could do this story almost as if Drake could be like, I was treated as a joke. I know that they could have even shot with it and been like, I know I'm one of the people that are on the bubble of potentially getting let go, or something not as near the knuckles to that effect. I need to prove myself in this tournament. Or three, they have lied about his release and they have used it as a storyline in amongst 20 odd other people getting released. Either way, to the shock of no one, WWE are doing a bit of a dick move here. Anyway, I understand.
Shame.
Yeah, he's getting paid, and I know that they are this thing of, well, we're paying them their downside, so therefore we can use them for the 90 days up until they're released, which is very tantamount to, I do believe, most Disney villains' ideas on how to deal with people that work for them. We've paid you, we can do what we want. But it just left a massive bad taste in my mouth. That being said, Jake Atlas is going to be a huge star in WWE. I just wish whoever wrote this didn't pussyfoot around the fact that you have someone that could be a guiding beacon for LGBT fans out there and not have them basically go, here's the point that he is a man who is gay. I feel weird that I'm saying, but he is a gay man. He's a gay man on this show, and what we're doing is we're just dancing around the point because we don't want to offend anyone that might not like it, when in reality those people need to grow up. So
yeah,
but it's one of those things that's completely irrelevant on what we're talking about in regards to reviewing the show. The match was very, very good. Drake Maverick is an amazing professional wrestler and showed that in this match, because his selling and his acting in this was top notch. Jake Atlas's wrestling was brilliant, so it made for a very good match. It was just the garnish around that left the bitter taste in my mouth.
I really enjoy the fact that in an empty arena you just hear Drake going "Rah!" in a proper Brummy accent.
Yeah.
Every time he goes for an attack.
I also enjoyed the exchange between the two where Drake was like, I need this, and Jake's like, yeah, I need it as well, like, I'm new here. I was waiting for Drake to be like, you have a contract, I don't, I need it more. But also everyone feels like they're doing some sort of really dramatic storyline with Maverick. I've got a real pit in my stomach feeling that they've got him in, he's going to pot over the three guys, off you pop. I don't think he's getting out of this. I feel like he's going to go 0-3 because no one actually They believed him as a GM, and then once they got bored of that, they were like, yeah, we're not going to use him for anything else. We're just going to use him as fodder, which is a shame because he's a genius. He is a wrestling genius.
Because I cannot remember what group's what. So he is in the group with Tony Nese, Kushida, and Jake Atlas. So he would need to put over Jake Atlas, brand new wrestler. Kushida, relatively new to Western audiences, if no one really watched him in New Japan. And Tony Nese, everyone knows because he's on WrestleMania 205, yada yada yada. So with you on that one, I agree that he is probably going to put those three guys over and three pops.
Yeah, it's disappointing. And then if that happens, then they have literally exploited a man's unemployment for views. And that is deplorable. But then again, in the list of deplorable things WWE have done, that ranks somewhere in the middle. But alas, we are still here talking about it because you can't.
We should move on.
You can't ignore Apple. This is my point. You can't ignore Apple. You can't ignore McDonald's. You can't ignore the WWE on this platform. But yes, let's continue with the other matches.
Other match in Group A was Kushida defeating Tony Nese with a really nice variant of the hoverboard lock, which wasn't called the hoverboard lock by Tom Phillips. He called it something else, and I can't remember what he called it.
Sakuraba lock, which actually is a nice little callback because Sakuraba is obviously one of the his big influences from like MMA and Pancrase and stuff. So that's what they called it.
Well done, Tom Phillips. Well done.
Sakuraba. But I think they've called it that since day dot. I did laugh at Tony Nese saying before the match starts, shouting to him, "Oh, you may have won some rinky-dink tournaments before, but this is the real stuff." Yes, Tony, him winning
Best of Super Juniors.
Nothing compared to the interim NXT. I love the commitment, Tony, but he's just called, and this ain't it.
Brilliant. I love that. And the other match from the other group was the debut of El Hijo del Fantasma. My Spanish is not brilliant.
That was fine.
No? Cool. Defeating Jack Gallagher, the former gentleman with the tattoos that look like they're painted on. Later in the evening, Fantasma was nearly abducted by Los Conquistadors.
Yes.
They nearly took him, but he managed to run away. So I feel like what they're doing, Vince wanted to make an all-Latin stable, but he gave up on it. Triple H has just taken that idea, ran with it, because so far we've lost DJZ, or
Wacky
I can't remember his Zach Joaquin Wild, thank you, and
Joe's favourite wrestler, Raul Mendoza.
I could imagine his face, but I couldn't think of his name. So they're both gone, but actually Joaquin Wild is not Latino. I think he's Filipino.
He's American, I believe.
Yeah.
They've just gone,
so my idea's out the window.
You know.
He doesn't look normal.
He doesn't look American, therefore he must be Mexican. That's the theory they've gone with. Not our theory, the theory we think the writers have gone with.
Yes.
Yeah, also, the key thing is, Phantasma was meant to be the person that was going to be the guy, according to the internet, and the internet never lies.
He's going to be the leader.
He was meant to be the leader. However, he was meant to be the leader without the mask. So I still believe he will be the leader, and that's a red herring, because if you watch when he gets taken out, or when he gets abducted, they don't really touch him. They go for him, and he throws one in the back seat of the car like he's throwing a dog in from, like, running in the park. Go on, get in. And then the other one kind of gets his shirt and then just jumps back in the seat, so no one actually, like, hit him or anything. So yeah. I feel like what's going to happen is that I have a feeling
it's going to be a Seth Rollins repeat of no, I'm not affiliated with the OP. Oh wait, hold on, yes I am.
I have a feeling that he might win the tournament and then lose the match. Whoever's doing this, if whoever's doing this, I feel like they're still losing to Devlin, because I feel like WWE are really on Jordan Devlin, and it'd be the
only person I can't see losing to Devlin will be Kushida.
Yeah, I feel like they might have him win it, lose to Devlin, and then he turns is like, well, I'm the one who's been abducting, or maybe that's how he wins the Cruiserweight title from Devlin. Maybe then all these people return, and he's like, this is my stable, unmasked, because obviously he unmasked in Mexico before he left, and he's like, I'm not Phantasma, I am, and his NXT name is Jorge Bolli? Yeah, Jorge Bolli. And he unmasks then. So, like, there is scope. This is actually very interesting. Again, the match is very, very good, because it's Jack Gallagher, and he's a tremendous wrestler. And I love that he's gone kind of back to his Brit indie roots of, like, he had like the Ivy stuff and that, but this is very much the guy that battered everyone in Tetsujin the first time, which is like the shoot fight UK Brit Rest tournament they did, where everyone was like, I could do this, and then Gallagher came in and, oh, by the way, I've legitimately done MMA. I'm going to batter you all. And he's doing that now.
what's it called? I really compare Gallagher to the character of Jacob Fry from the Assassin's Creed Syndicate game, because the way he dresses, the way he acts is very much old Jack Gallagher. And then when you go into fist fights in the game, it is new Jack Gallagher, who is just a dick, and he's just going to break your nose and break your arm.
I love the idea of new Jack Gallagher, but him being...
original Jack Gallagher.
No, I love the idea of him being new Jack Gallagher, and his gimmick is that he's Jack Gallagher, but he is also new Jack.
Somewhere, Emily No Mates is loving life.
just a combination of best. I like the transformation they've done with Gallagher, where he's gone from being Robert Downey Jr. playing Sherlock Holmes to being basically the guy from No Country for Old Men. Gone from lovable rogue to like fighting death man. It's great. All the matches have been really, really solid throughout the interim cruiserweight tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you. The other big story we got running through the entire show was relating to Velveteen Dream. So the original build match we got was Velveteen Dream versus Finn Balor after their compensation last week. Balor had mysteriously been taken out by someone, no one knows actually who, probably his wife not letting him go.
Balor wasn't on the show.
No, nor do I.
I've not looked it up, to be honest. I should probably do that now.
No, the story is that he was taken off, like he was taken out. Why he wasn't there, we don't know. Dream still comes to the ring and effectively mugs off Balor. He stood on the ring, on the corner of the ring, like Balor does before he does his arm lift in the air, where the lights will go up in his entrance. He is pointing like he does with his hands, like the finger gun points, but he does it one by one because he's got a microphone in his hands. And he also keeps calling him the Prince and the Demon and this sort of thing. He eventually gets interrupted by Adam Cole, who is allowed in Full Sail because we haven't seen him for a very, very long time. Cole says that most people would have believed that Balor versus Dream was going to determine the number one contender for the NXT Championship. That was going to, whoever won that would go on to Cole. And with Balor being mysteriously taken out, he blamed Dream for it. He said that Dream took Balor out so Dream could get an easy run all the way through to the title match. Eventually, we get a beatdown of the Undisputed Era coming out, Fish, Strong, and Cole. Noah Riley, I believe he's at home self-isolating because he hasn't been on TV for a long time.
Yeah, I did look this up just to reference the reason he is self-isolating. The reason he's not at the tapings is that he's
got diabetes.
He's got diabetes, so he's immunocompromised. I've just looked up. I did what every journo does and just googled the words Finn Balor to see what comes up. And the only thing I could find is people just saying that he wasn't at the taping. So maybe he can get there. Maybe, obviously, he's got like...
He lives in Florida.
Yeah, so maybe he can get there. Maybe there was the reason. Maybe he's carrying a knock. Hopefully he's fine. And they just had to do this as some sort of weird storyline. But it would potentially feed into what happened in the main event. I would.
Yes. I'd agree with you on that one. So during the beatdown, we get a save come from the North American champion, Keith Lee, who comes out and aids Dream, which sets up a tag team match between Cole and Strong against Lee and Dream in the main event. Midway through, I don't think the match has even started. There's a brawl between all five men.
Before the match started.
There's a brawl between all five men. Bobby Fish gets ejected because he swiped for Dream's foot. So he gets ejected by the referee. And while the referee's not looking, Damian Priest appears and attacks Lee with his nightstick twice to the throat, which takes him out of the match completely. He was selling it like he got shot.
I don't like the WWE are needlessly doing like assaults to the breathing in this current time.
No, I didn't even think about that.
It doesn't seem very appropriate, does it? To be
pandemic affects your breathing. Hold on.
Yeah. just like, what are they going to do next? Have someone attack someone with coughing? It's like, it just seems very on the nose in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, no, he did. What's it? Big Boss Man 2.0 came in with his nightstick again and laid the beat down on the throat, and he made the weird Shane McMahon noise that I'm not going to say on this podcast because I said that turn of phrase on Smack Talk, and I think it gets said too much. The whole choking on something noise that Keith Lee made.
I agree with you. So it was effectively a 2-on-1 handicap match. Dream was being beaten down by the Undisputed Era. The camera cuts to zoom in on him and Strong in the ring. The camera cuts away, and Dexter Lumis has just stood on the apron. He's literally just stood there, ominously, creepily staring into the ring. Dream can't get a tag in. It was beautiful. It was so good, and it made me so happy to see him in here because Dexter Lumis, for people that don't know, is one of my all-time favourite wrestlers to transfer from Impact or TNA to WWE, and to finally be starting to make an impact when he was Samuel Shaw. The gimmick was beautiful. I loved it. And the fact he's actually getting so much TV time now makes me so happy.
It was great purely because they didn't have him climb up on the apron. You didn't see him.
They just had him appear.
He just appeared like the butler from Mr. Deeds. He just appeared on the ring apron. And everyone was shocked, like, where did he come from? And I love
Tom Phillips was like, what the hell?
Yeah. What I love about this is they are really hammering home this fact that he just appears. He's so elusive and so quiet that he just appears. And I'm loving this storyline of the man who plays mind games to get a mental edge on his opponent. It could potentially be either alongside or up against a man that no one can get a mental read on. So it's how can he play mind games with a man who's on not even another frequency, another bandwidth of mental like brainwave in Dexter Lumis? It's so great. It's gonna be so good. I'm intrigued by all of it.
Go on. What I absolutely love about this, Matt, at this point, like as soon as he appears, stood there holding the ropes. Like he's not doing anything. He's just there. It just looks like he's there. The referee's gone, yeah, screw it. Yeah, you can be a part of this. Dream managed to hit a Dream Valley driver and somewhat avoids Cole. And as Dream hits the Dream Valley driver, it's when Lumis extends his hand. And the second he extends his hand, the referee goes, Lumis, grab the tag rope. Come on, grab the tag rope. I'm like, really? That's the thing you've got to point out.
You never
should you've got to pick up on.
Or they could be a thing, because if you reference last week, it might not be about Velveteen Dream, because last week he was focused on the tag title match. So maybe he's stalking the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, but would you go? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, too.
Maybe
and to be fair, no one's going to go on their own to go against four men except for some nut jobber like Lumis.
Yeah, it's like Vigilante Justice. He's going to go full John McClane in Die Hard and go after them all one by. We're going to find out 1 week Kyle O'Reilly's going to be in a bear trap. Bobby Fish has been thrown out of a second story window. Oh, where's Roderick Strong? Oh, sorry, Dexter Lumis set him on fire. They are literally going to eliminate them by extreme means. He's like, why do you do it?
Brilliant.
I don't like it. Why do you do it?
Bored. Why not? Yeah. Eventually Lumis gets in. He hot tag, of course, he's hitting some big moves. He hits a Triple H inspired spinebuster on the anniversary of Triple H's 25th year in WWE. He hits a big double A.
And a Triple H inspired flip dive to the outside, of Triple H used to always do.
Yes, he did. And then he hits a sitting out Uranagi, very similar to the side effect by Matt Hardy, on Cole, bounces back onto the ropes where Dream tags in. He leaps over the top rope, takes out Fish, and Strong. Fish had just appeared and come back down to help out. And then Dream hits the Purple Rainmaker onto Cole for the 3. So Lumis has came in and taken out the Undisputed Era, and Velveteen Dream has pinned the NXT champion.
So the end
game, big waves.
Yeah, the end game of this is Velveteen Dream's going to win the NXT title, and Dexter Lumis is going to slowly murder the Undisputed Era.
See, I really think that Dexter Lumis is going to end up being some henchman for Dream. He's just going to convince him to be his henchman, and because he's on such a nutty wavelength.
I have a really fun idea for a tag team, but it would literally be the George Geal Wet Dream tag team, and it would be to put Lumis with Karrion Kross.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible.
Because they officially announced the other half of this now. They have said it's Karrion Kross and It's not Scarlett Bordeaux, but Scarlett. So I'm so happy they've let her keep her name. I
think that's her real name, isn't it?
No, it is. Her name is Scarlett Bordeaux. That was her wrestling name on the internet. But they've kept her. They've basically WWE'd it by getting rid of her
last
name.
Taking her name.
So she's just Scarlett. So I'm happy, because I was worried they're going to be here comes
Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross.
Vince is Karen's
Karrion and Karrion Kross.
We'll call her Karrion Kross with 3 E's. But I say 3 completely different vibe.
Her real name is Elizabeth, so it's less fun.
Right, kayfabe, Jesus. She's Scarlet. She's always been Scarlet.
Always been Scarlett. Last night we got one of the best promos I have ever seen from Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae. This was chef's kiss beautiful.
This was brilliant because we were wondering whether now she's a naughty.
Oh, Matt, it's happened again. It's happened again. She's 100 times more attractive. That hair, the lipstick.
The theory works.
My God.
Male, female, whatever you are, whatever gender you identify with, whether you are fluid, whether you are not, if you are a heel, if you are a bastard, you're immediately 1,000 times attractive. It always Tommaso Ciampa, and in this case, because we said we were fearful. Were we going to get emo Candice back?
Yes.
We didn't. She's gone to DEFCON 3. She's gone full goth Candice. Blue hair.
She's gone.
Dark lipstick, and these two remind me so much of Triple H and Stephanie in 2000.
I think that's what they're going for. They're definitely going for Triple H. This was a very much a Triple H, not inspired. What's the word?
It wasn't Triple H inspired. It didn't last 20 minutes. So
yeah, fair enough.
But no, I love this. This whole promo was great. Them having their romantic meal, but them cutting into black and white when they're going on rants was so well done. It was so good.
So good.
And Candice, I was all very fearful of Candice cutting promos in WWE because she's okay, but there's nothing. But that someone's seen something, and this is something that WWE, and I know people don't really like giving them credit for something. They have some people in WWE have an amazing ability at finding a little thing and going, right, grow. And someone's seen, then if we give you the right venom, you could be a really good heel. Like, I wouldn't assume that Dakota Kai would be a really good heel, but here we are nonetheless.
She's been class.
That heel promo from Candice is one of the best debut heel promos I've seen in a while.
For the listeners that hasn't seen it, but effectively they're sat.
Don't describe
watch
it. Tend to go and watch.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. Effectively, they're sat in their dining room. It's Johnny on his own. He's speaking about basically what's next. He's going on about what's going to happen between the two of them. Candice comes and sits down and just speaks about her experiences and how everyone relied on her, and she was a go-to, but no one ever had her back, but she always had everyone else's back, and that she was sick and tired of doing that, and everyone would be. It's a fair point.
I'm going to stop you from describing it because just go.
I won't do it justice.
Go and watch the promo. It's really, really good.
I will say the best line in it is I can't remember what Candice says, but Johnny just basically responds, "Go, you eat first." Because
I love that.
You go for.
I also loved on the centerpiece on their table was the cup from the match. By the way, have you seen the tweet that Dijakovic put out about that?
No.
He got the screenshot of the cup on the table and was like, "It's very touching that Johnny Gargano has got a memento of the first time his wife touched his genitals." So unnecessarily mean.
Yes, Dija. Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh yeah, birthday boy coming out with a birthday band. Superb scenes.
Superb. But yeah, basically the gist of it is Gargano wants him and Candice to be the first married NXT champions in WWE. That's what happened. We got we'll go from one promo about Dark and being just brilliant to one utterly hilarious promo from Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. Riddle calls Thatcher a beautiful man and says every time he looks into his blue eyes, he's reminded of the Stallion Pete Dunne. Thatcher's response is, "My eyes are brown."
This whole promo was basically Timothy Thatcher trying.
Oh my God.
And Matt Riddle trying to make him laugh. It was so good.
Matt just responds, "Yeah, I know." He just goes, "Yeah, all right, yeah, I know." If you have a dry sense of humour, put them with Matt Riddle, because Matt can just bring out comedy in anyone.
You can see it in Timo's eyes. You could literally see it. He's like, "You're trying to make me laugh." And Riddle's like, "Yes, yes, I am." And then other bit, he's like, "We're gonna give you a makeover next week and make you look beautiful." And he's like, "What are you doing?" And all I could think of, it might be because I'm listening to someone review old episodes of SmackDown at the moment. Just reminds me of Al Snow and Steve Blackman, head cheese. With Timothy Thatcher just being the straight guy and Riddle being like, "Come on," it's so funny, so dumb, but so funny.
I love Matt Riddle. He can bring comedy out in anyone.
I did not like Timo up until the last few months, but he's really grown on me, and in WWE, this slayed me.
I haven't actually seen much of him from the Indies or from his time in WXW or anything like that. but the two instances I've seen him in, it's just been gold. They've just been so good.
They've used him so well in WWE in 2 weeks.
He does look like a killer though. Like if you're going to make a tag team, I think put him with Dexter Lumis, because his hair, his teeth, like makes him look like he's going to bite. He looks like Trevor from GTA.
He really does. That's a bang. He does look like Trevor from GTA. What I loved about it, guys, we have some differences to me and Riddle. He likes to knock people out, and I like to make people tap out. I love that. But that's the only thing. Is like we have very different. There is one big difference between me and Riddle. He does kicks. I like to choke people out. Just love it. Great.
Not anything else. We got a hype package surrounding the winner of the ladder match, Io Shirai.
That was solid.
Just hyping her up.
Solid.
Just hyping her up. And then, Matt, I have to ask you, like, I put this tweet out yesterday, I think it was, of is anyone else enjoying the tag team tandem of Ricochet and Cedric Alexander? Because I'm very enjoying them. I think they're very, very good tag team together. This is a new tag team I'm very much on board with, and that's Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox. Oh,
what, the shiniest tank? Oh, no, actually, yes. The shiniest balls, because obviously Shotzi's about being very ballsy. So, yeah. The team with the shiniest balls of Teagues and Shotzi. I did like it. I just also like that Shotzi just binned a tank into the steel steps. I don't know why. Really made me laugh that she just went and then just started to just drive into the steps. I want to somehow do it at some point where she's managed to drive it under the ring. I want to jump out and park it under the ring. At one point.
Yeah, but then we'll get Hornswoggle drive it out the other end.
That's the point. I want that to happen. Drives it under, and then we just see Hornswoggle come out from under it. Women's Royal Rumble. She drives the tank under the ring, parks it there, and then half of the Rumble, Swoggle just comes. Then during the Men's Rumble, Swoggle comes out and just drives around. Dressed as Shotzi Blackheart. Book it.
But unfortunately, great tag team tandem, but they did lose to the team of Raquel Gonzalez and Captain Kota. What I loved in this was Shotzi came into the ring, Captain Kota had her on the floor, and she goes, "What are you, Green Goblin?"
just needlessly firing.
Especially in her Aussie accent, or New Zealand accent, sorry. It's just hilarious.
Okay, it's good, but it's still not as good as the ladder match when Dakota got caught up with Tegan, and Tegan, in the thickest Welsh accent, just shouted, going, "Well, you're in trouble now, aren't you then?" Kills me. So good.
I did notice in this match though, Shotzi doing a Tegan move. You know when she does a senton, but she lands on her neck.
Oh yeah, the inverted, the wild boar senton.
The inverted one. Yeah, she did that to Raquel when Raquel was against the ropes, and then Tegan did her own, which was lovely teamwork. And the final bit. Shiny balls, exactly. And the final thing we got from last night was Mia Yim defeating Jessie Kamea, and she was confronted by Charlotte post-match. Basically, Charlotte is just trying to make Mia Yim fiery.
Yeah, because she basically just backhanded compliment. She's like, "Oh, you had a great match. Your Mia's very, very nice." And then she just goes, "You're a great hand," which does make people hit people in the head with a chair, i.e. Sean Spears and Cody. And then goes, "I'll make you a star next week." And Mia's just like, "Bitch, what?" And then, yeah, so we're going to have them two wrestle last week, which will be pretty good. I think next week, we've got Mia and Charlotte. We've got
NXT North American Championship, Lee and Damian Priest.
We've got Lee against Damian Priest with Lee's injured throaty boy. And then I don't think, did they announce anything else for next week? Sure, I don't think they did. But
I do not believe so.
There'll be more cruiserweight title matches, I imagine, as well. So.
Oh, yeah, there will be. So basically, what next week is going to be Damian Priest versus John Lawrence, but just much bigger.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
We got more installments from AEW of the Bubbly Bunch, which is hands down the greatest thing currently on TV.
It's so stupid, but
it's just so good. It is amazing. I absolutely adore it. Everyone in this is just, even Jake Hager's funny. In what universe is Jake Hager funny?
We don't need you to be sad because you're not. No, what's it?
Sad is for ugly.
Yeah, sad is for ugly people. I know, and sexy people shouldn't be sad. Just
basically, the start of the Bubbly Bunch is Guevara says he's depressed because everyone in the inner circle is losing, and Hager didn't beat Moxley, and it was in an empty arena, and obviously they were there, they would have won. Ortiz says that there's three things in life, there's certain things in life: death, taxes, and the inner circle being on top. So we get the line from Hager saying being sad is for ugly people, and Sammy's too sexy to be sad. Jericho says when we're sad, we're gonna dance. So they're gonna do a Flim Flam, which is just a piss take of TikTok, and it is just so funny.
Breaking kayfabe, I did write the results for this. I was writing it this morning. I was watching Dynamite, and I did write, they do a Flim Flam challenge, and for anyone over the age of 25, they're taking the piss out of TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just frontier ridiculousness, and I'm all for it.
It is so funny. Guevara says he's not feeling it though, he's not up to it. Jericho says the winner gets some hand sanitizer, which excites Sammy and gets him involved. So they all start individually doing the same dance, obviously just on their own.
Woo!
To see 50-year-old Chris Jericho do a TikTok dance has made my week.
Yeah, that was when he got really
49-year-old.
Watching all of them do.
He was first.
Yeah, it was really. Also, I got more baffled by the fact that the framing of the first Jericho shot was him next to a Roomba, and then they just cut to a close-up.
Didn't do anything
of the
about
Roomba that had nothing to do with the story.
Well, when they did that, I thought they were going to start putting that into the story because there's a video of him shouting Hoover.
Yeah,
but they just didn't. They just left it.
We're gonna find out that the Roomba's like a double agent for Vanguard One. Distrustful of any inanimate object. And then Sammy Guevara starts doing breakdancing, and then Chris gets annoyed and says you win.
And says you're a fucking show off.
And then throws the sanitizer at the phone. It would have only been better if the sanitizer then...
It was his wife.
Pardon?
It would have been his wife. His wife was probably filming that.
No, but he was holding the phone and he threw it at the phone in his hand. It would have only been funnier if then the hand sanitizer came out of Sammy's phone. It's so, I love the fact that they are taking up the time that they've got. Because obviously they've filmed a whole bunch of matches. They can't really film a lot more than that. But what they're doing is they're filling it up with content that, one, is entertaining. Apart from one thing. I'll get to that in a little bit. And two, or something that's really interesting, like the technique by Taz. I want them to keep that even when they're doing the live shows, because it's really, really interesting when they're discussing the finer points of moves. But the Bubbly Bunch, it was so dumb, but so funny. It's
just brilliant. And what's even better is Chris Jericho saying fucking on TV. It being bleeped, obviously, but him just going, you're a fucking show off, and it's just so funny, and I love it.
It killed me. Absolutely great.
What else did we get last night? We got the semi-finals confirmed of the TNT Championship Tournament. We obviously had Dustin Rhodes versus Kip Sabian and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin. Jericho, midway through Dustin and Kip Sabian, killed me. He said he's not what he used to be, going along with the retirement thing from last week. So basically, it's good. It's continuity. We got earlier in the week, we got the thing from Dustin saying if he doesn't beat Kip, he's going to retire. And Chris Jericho just running with that, saying he's not what he used to be, kept moaning in for landing on his knees with every move he did. And it was just very, very good.
It's been a fantastic, because not only...
so good.
We'll talk about... Kenny Omega had a squash match on this show. But even then, he's he's a pumpkin-headed shithead. Or pumpkin-headed dipshit, I'd say.
I can't remember.
But he goes, but he's an amazing wrestler. But he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. But then I've beaten him every time. So he's being a heel, but then also putting over all the talent, and it's great. And like you said, he brought up an amazing point where he's like, he goes, Dustin Rhodes is an idiot. He's hurt his knees, and now he's doing loads of moves where he's landing on his knees. And I'm like,
and atomic drops, and
yeah, it was great. Also, I love that Dustin Rhodes' finisher now is a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, he's what is he, gone 15? He's doing a Canadian Destroyer.
51, he's basically doing what Terry Funk did, where Terry Funk turned 50 and went, God damn it, I'm going to do a moonsault. Screw it, I'm 51, I'm in the best shape of my career, I'm going to do a Canadian Destroyer now as my finisher.
Brilliant. Midway through the match, Kip started to lose his shit and got really angry. Brandy takes out Penelope with a spear. Obviously, they both have each women respectively on there.
They almost balls it up, but I think Brandy...
They did nearly balls it up. They did. Penelope ran at the ropes, then Brandy got in the ring, ran at the same ropes as Penelope came the other way, and then they fixed it.
Yeah, luckily it looked like that Brandy was just too fast for Penelope rather than them ballsing up the match. So that was good.
Yeah, but yeah, Dustin won, defeating Kip Sabian, the much younger and much fresher and probably the better talent with a Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah, they're building up. I imagine that he's facing Lance Archer next week, so
he's good at it. If he wins this tournament, it is going to be so good, so funny if he wins this tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're still building to Lance and Cody, but then again, I can't pick. It's really difficult because obviously we've got Dustin and Lance on one side. We've got Cody and Darby Allin on the other. Yeah, Cody and Darby Allin on the other side. So it could go one of two ways.
Could be a brother on brother showdown. It could be
Cody and Dustin again, definitely, yeah.
And that would be great. And then it could be Cody against Lance, which is what a lot of people want to see after he was brought in by Jake Roberts. And then Darby versus Lance would be great because Lance just throws around little people and Darby Allin doesn't know when to stop.
I wouldn't be shocked if they did do Darby versus...
I wouldn't be either.
But actually, the match between Darby Allin and... Yeah, it was Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara, like the rematch from Revolution. That was a really, really good match. And completely different from their match at Revolution. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking about the match, speaking about Jericho on commentary again, he asked, after Darby Allin does a Lope Suicida, which is a brilliant move, it basically is Tope Suicida just between the middle and the bottom rope, crashes into the barricade. Jericho asks Tony Schiavone, do you know what Suicida means in English? Because I don't. And then later on says, I speak perfect Spanish.
Yeah, I love that. He goes, do you know what Suicida means, Schiavone? And he goes, no. He goes, I don't either.
Sammy nearly killed himself while trying to do a 630, nearly broke his neck.
Thing is, though, I don't know whether he... I
was terrified. I was legitimately terrified that he nearly broke his neck.
Or he, let go a little. He let go of it on the last rotation to show that his foot was hurting. Either he did incredibly dangerous selling, or he nearly did neck himself on a 630, because that looked rough as balls.
He only had one boot on because he was getting some leg attacks. We thought, I'll just take my boot off.
Yeah, I'm going to do. But then again, I love the fact they've done this thing now where they seem to do the thing where these guys just jump start the match and they do a mental spot before the match even starts. Because we got a ladder. The second Sammy Guevara got the ladder out, I went, that's not a gimmick ladder. That's an actual ladder. They can't go to the wrestling store and get a gimmick ladder. That's a legitimate ladder. For the love of God, you better not be doing a 630 on that ladder. But he just did a big splash. So it was painful, but not as painful as it could have been. But it was a really, really good match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Darby was bleeding. Sammy had one foot shoe on, so they were both hurting. But Darby picks up the win with his leg lock roll up at the Last Supper, which is like the start of an Indian deathlock / figure four leg lock, but he just rolls over and pins them.
I love that move. It's such a good move.
Yeah, so I think he's very smart.
Yeah, so I love that he's got a move now that he can do out of nowhere rather than the coffin drop. Also the counter where he went for the springboard coffin drop and Sammy caught him. For a guy that's
into the feast of your eyes. Oh my God.
The fact that Sammy's not that big of a guy, the fact that he could catch him in that was tremendous timing from Darby and Sammy. So kudos to you guys for that one. Yeah,
very much, very much so. We got an appearance via satellite or pre-recorded video from Maxwell Jacob Freeman outside of his house. He is basically giving us a medical update and saying there's a nationwide pandemic going on and this, that and the other. Basically, it seems like he's talking about COVID-19. He's not. He's talking about him not being on TV. And he says that he's going to be back on TV soon. His injury is a hangnail he received while throwing cash in a casino. But because he's so brave, he kept going and made it worse.
Yeah, it's just... he's a dick. Because we genuinely thought that was a legitimate injury story. I thought he'd done his...
Yeah, I thought he'd because
he has legitimately... He's had shoulder problems and arm problems before, so I thought he'd have re-hurt his shoulder. No, he hasn't. He's just not at TV. Also, did you read the lower third of where he was?
Max's rat something. I missed the other part.
Rat's house. That's not okay in 2020. You can't be calling people rats. But it did make me giggle because I was like, that's such a MJF thing to do.
MJF is basically a combination of Alberto Del Rio and Kid. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's a really good promo. As was the Matt Hardy one as well.
Yes, we got a Matt Hardy promo talking about the Inner Circle. Some very nice promo stuff here. We also got a hype package Scorpio Sky and his journey to AEW, part 1. So they're putting some focus on
the Matt Hardy one. I was right, because I love the fact they switched where he's like, maybe you find my broken vessel intimidating, so let me bring my original vessel, and then Matt Hardy cuts to like a serious promo about Jericho, and I'm like, I love the fact that they're now saying that he's in control of it, so he can switch between the two. He could be Matt Hardy or Broken Matt or Damascus, yeah. And the Scorpio one was really, really cool as well, because it was just a really, really nice story. Like they seem to be building him back up again. However, what I wasn't a fan of is Brody. Do you get Brody Lee? He's doing all the things that Vince McMahon does.
I don't find it funny.
I again got into a discussion / argument with Mike about this. He's like, well, there's a load of stuff they couldn't do, and I'm like, yeah, but they also couldn't constantly make references to Vince McMahon. Like this one now, where he basically just meets a guy and goes, oh, you're 6 foot, you're 200 pounds, you're a footballer. Well, I'm going to bring you into the Dark Order. Do you get it? Because Vince likes big football types. Ha ha ha. Yes, he's right for parody, but don't do it every pissing week. It's so aggravating, and it's ruined that character for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about Brody Lee. I don't care. Like, the squash matches were great, because they were putting him over with this big deal. You could have done one Vince reference, but no, you've done what WWE does, which is drive it into the pissing ground, and it's ruined. But I don't care about the Dark Order now. You've managed to get me to care, and now I uncare again, like I did at the beginning.
I've never cared.
And I'll let it breathe, because I might change my mind. They might do something that really piques my interest, but my God, stop the Vince baiting. It makes you seem small time rather than. You ignore the competition. You don't make references to it. This is why WWE beat WCW, and WCW constantly make references to WWE, and WWE didn't reference them. It's why TNA always referenced WWE, and WWE never referenced TNA until they had to pay them for rights fees because they've stolen all their best wrestlers. Don't mention the competition. Leave it be. You can make one illusion. The illusion when he debuted at AEW was great because it was we knew what he meant, but he didn't say it. This is just now beating over the head an internet fan service, which I cannot abide by. It does my head in. However, Cody's opening promo at the end, where he alluded to, maybe I'm just a mid-card guy. Maybe I've dreamed too big and I'm not meant to be like a main eventer. That's a great way to allude to stuff from another company without actually mentioning them. So I really enjoyed that.
Yep, I was about to mention that as the final promo of the night was Cody talking about his about the TNT Championship as a whole. Match wise, we got a squash match. We got 2 squash matches. Brody Lee defeating Justin Law, because we need to get the big guy over. Kenny Omega defeating Alan Angles, because you need to get over the megastar that's headline the Tokyo Dome more times than I can count. Eagles. He gave that Alan fella a lot of offense in that match, and I love the spot. Yeah, and then Jericho ruined it all by just mugging him off. Oh yeah, somebody's like, this is a warm-up match, he's going to easily beat him, but then he gave him a lot of stuff, so fair play. Yeah, and Jericho mugged him off about his gear because he had like a reverse loincloth that actually said Angles on it instead of Angels or whatever his name is, which was interesting. And then we got the most hotly anticipated TV debut of anyone, Orange Cassidy, in his in-ring AEW not pay-per-view Dynamite. That's what I'm after. Dynamite in-ring debut against Jimmy Havoc, which he won. He did. He got battered for the majority of the match, but he did win. Jimmy looked really great in this as well, which I really like. I love Jimmy Havoc, but his hair really annoys me. I don't know why. His hair it's irritating. I'll tell him you said that. Thanks. He'll staple me. I'll get Shirley to text Jimmy and let him know. I like it. I like his new finisher, like his leg hook DDT thing. It's a shame. Obviously, they're not going to let him use the Rainmaker because, well, acid Rainmaker. But he tried the acid Rainmaker, didn't he? Yeah. So he used it, but then did it into an armbar, which is like a transitional move, which is fine. But they've given him like the ram. Basically, they're giving him the Rampage as a finisher, which works. And then because Nia Jax can't do it. Yeah, because for some reason they've changed their move into throwing someone, which always goes well for Nia Jax. It was a really good match. It put over both guys, and now next week we've got a no DQ street fight between the Best Friends and Havoc and Kip Sabian.
with a promo that was great because it had Chuck Taylor in it, so it was always going to be brilliant. And Trent's just weird where he's like, that is the end of the interview now. The interview is over, and then walks off. But Trent mentions he's like, I want to beat up Penelope because she keeps interfering, but I can't. I'm like, why can't you? Isn't it meant to be like all-inclusive, everyone can wrestle everyone in AEW? So why is that a thing? That you can't have in-gender matches. I thought they were going to have I thought they were going to announce they were having a 6th person.
I would have thought that as well.
Penelope and Kip against Orange, Trent, and Chuck Taylor, but apparently they can't. So I wonder whether that's maybe not an AEW thing, and maybe a TNT thing, possibly.
Possibly. Have you heard the interview with Jericho? He put us over. Like he put us over so many in a done really well since we teamed up and that sort of stuff. And he goes, Orange Cassidy, as soon as he gets back into live audiences, he's going to be a star. Like, he's a star in the making. The second he gets back into live audiences, he's going to be fine. Trent is amazing as well. Doesn't say anything about Chuck Taylor.
But I think it's Chuck Taylor's Chuck Taylor, and it wouldn't work without Trent, and Orange wouldn't work without Chuck being there, because Chuck is just this bizarre,
goofy,
and also he's like the most athletic. Like, Orange Cassidy's an anomaly. He's like a ridiculously athletic human being. However, Chuck Taylor's ridiculously athletic, and he's a very, very good wrestler. So that whole we had an early success story of Scorpio Sky and Darby Allin's obviously a big success story, but the second wave of success stories was the Best Friend, because they were getting a massive reaction when we had crowds. And Orange Cassidy is like one of the most over talents in AEW, so long may that continue.
TWM Podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service, to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
Matt, what was better?
Oh, it's a really difficult one, because I did really enjoy. I'm gonna say AEW, but it's not by much. Because AEW it's just a very tight product. There was 2 really, really good matches in it. The Bubbly Bunch was really, really funny, and nothing on AEW left a bad taste in my mouth. WWE did. There was something that really bothered me about that show. But apart from that, both shows were brilliant. It was literally neck and neck, and then WWE fell over on the whole Drake Maverick Jake Atlas thing. So ironically, it was the first match on the show. So literally, they fell over at the beginning and were just lagging behind a little bit. They had a perfect game, apart from the fact they hit a gutter ball at the top of the show. But everyone's great. Goth Candice is always going to be a firm favourite now. The Johnny and Candice promo was great. The Dexter Lumis stuff was brilliant. The video package, the VT for Scarlett and Carrion was really, really good. All the matches from top to bottom were fantastic on WWE, as they were on AEW. And the Bubbly Bunch was hilarious. The commentary was really, really great. It was a really, really good week of wrestling, to be fair. But AEW for me just shades it. What about you, Mr. George?
NXT, because Dexter Lumis.
I had a feeling it was going to be NXT.
I would actually say AEW. The matches were, quality-wise, was much better. The promos were very good, except for Brody Lee, but I'm just against Brody Lee's thing generally, because
Brody Lee annoyed
it's pointless.
me, whereas the Drake Maverick Jake Atlas thing genuinely pissed me off.
Hit home. So. Yeah, hit home. Not very nice. But yeah, no, both shows were very good, but going on the ethos of each company, AEW wins.
Yeah, in the moral high ground, they're just above the parapet, whereas WWE are looking up about 20 feet down going, can you help us out, please? But we're kind of stuck down here.
Yeah, more or less. But that's that. That's the 2 shows reviewed, spoken about, and go watch. I'm going to say now, I never do this, but go watch Johnny and Candice's promo because it's beautiful. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
For next week, Tony Khan has talked a big game. He says the next week's Dynamite is one of the best episodes of wrestling you're likely to see for a long time.
Which that translates to, we're going to get Hulk Hogan versus Scott Hall. Suicide comes over from TNA to take on Kazuchika Okada.
Why have you moved on to TNA 2010? It's like
Suicide is one of the greatest wrestling characters.
Where has that come from? This has gone immediately.
I don't know.
Wrap the show up, sir. Now.
I don't know. We're going to get Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada in a 7.5 star main event.
George, wrap the show up. You've gone mental.
I'll wrap it up now. Follow us on all social medias, Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at TW Wrestle. Subscribe us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, Acast, Podbean, and YouTube, and anywhere else you do get podcasts from. TWM Wrestling is the code to use on WrestleCrate.co.uk to get yourself the items free for the next 3 months. And We Love Sport, follow them on all social medias at We Love Sport UK. Download the app, go to their website, all that fun stuff. And whilst you're on the internet looking over at websites, go on to twm.news and read the articles, because our articles are very good.
Yes, boss.
That's what I have to say about that.
Yes.
My one that comes out a little bit as we're recording this, probably just before this goes out live, is a dedication to the greatest greatest wrestling referee there ever has been, in Mike Yoda, and 5 of his best involvements, 5 best matches he's been involved in.
There, you've got that, and you've also got a kind of a thing looking at Titan Towers, obviously, because that's a big deal considering they are moving away from there, and it is the site of a WWE pay-per-view coming up very, very soon. And you got other stuff as well. We've got Triple H stuff. We've got stuff on Kane, I want to say.
How Finkel.
Go read the Fink article. It's very, very a lovely tribute from Adam Van Winkle. So go and check all of that out at twm.news.
And if you also want to laugh, go onto our Twitter, find it somewhere, the tweet from saying, in case you missed it, don't forget to go read YW. And David Starr responding, because it's all funny.
Yeah, we're not talking about that, George. Like, that doesn't exist anymore. So, I don't know what you're on about.
Well, okay. Sorry, yeah.
It didn't happen.
Fake news. Sorry, my bad. Fake news has been revealed. It wasn't David Starr, it was me. It was me all along. I've got a mental bin.
Go outside. You know what?
I'm gonna go for a walk.
Yeah. He's George _Geal _. I'm at Matty ID. He's going to go for a walk. You're going to go and subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform you are. And hopefully George is back next week if we haven't had him. We've got Reese unboxing stuff from Morrison's on his YouTube channel. We've got you making up stuff that didn't happen on Twitter. Might happen on Twitter. So I'm shutting your butt down, Tarantino style. Goodbye.